the next thing I want to do is get some grease into the swinging arm bearings. Okay, and on the older BMWs you can actually use a grease gun adapter to do that. On these power levers you can't. So what we've got here is a plastic ring, and we can probe that out fairly easily, I hope. Gently, carefully, don't want to damage it because it's going back in again. So there's the plastic ring. So that plastic ring will be going back in. Underneath that we've got a bearing, and in that bearing is another plastic shield. And we've got to carefully probe that out as well. Now inevitably you probably will cause a bit of damage to this, but that's the price you pay for trying to get some grease in it. If anyone's got a trick for getting these out without damaging them, I'd like to hear it. Here it comes. We'll look at that in a minute. So, taper roller bearing. We're going to work some grease into that. I've got somewhere a little grease gun I use for doing this. So I've got this little grease gun that I use for doing this. It's got a nipple on the end of it, and I can work that in between the rollers and just get a bit of grease in there. This little shield that I've damaged a bit getting out, you can see it's just synthetic rubber on a little metal pin, so little metal ring. So what I'm going to do is just gently tap that back into shape with a little hammer. I mean, you won't make it perfect, but it'll help to stop dirt and water from getting in there, and in the past when I've not lubricated these bearings periodically, I found that they go notchy. This bearing, these bearings, set of bearings, I've had in for some time, and I've had this this little shield out a few times now. It always gets a little bit damaged, but it seems to have, repacking the bearing seems to have saved the bearing and made it last longer. So just get that back in to the side of the rollers. There we go, make sure it goes actually into the bearing itself. This was a gearbox bearing or something, I certainly wouldn't be doing this, taking the shield out, because that's a spinning bearing. But this is not in something as crucial as a gearbox, I'd say. So there we are. There's the bearing repacked a bit. Not perfect, but it seems to make it last longer. So I've given that a little rinse off with some carburettor cleaner and a little blow with the air gun. We'll just put that back in now. Doesn't appear to be any particular side that needs to go in, so that just will slot over there into position. So there you have one side done. Now I'm going to do the other.